Imagine standing on the edge of reality and realizing the ground beneath your feet might not be real. Every sound, every thought, every breath you've ever taken could be nothing more than code. A sophisticated illusion woven by forces beyond comprehension. The simulation hypothesis, famously proposed by philosopher Nick Bostrom, suggests that future civilizations could acquire enough computational power to simulate entire universes, complete with conscious beings who never realize they're simulated. If such a civilization exists, and if it's even remotely interested in running ancestor simulations, then statistically, it's far more likely that we are the simulated, not the original. The stars, the air, your memories, all could be digital approximations within a colossal cosmic machine. In this paradigm, atoms are not particles, but data packets. The laws of physics are not immutable truths, but programmed constants. Even your sense of self, the flicker of awareness behind your eyes, could be the user interface of a consciousness experiencing itself through code. But if all of this is true, a deeper question arises. What happens when you die inside a simulation? Is death the deletion of a process, the collapse of code, or is it simply a transition, a logout from one level of existence into another? This is where philosophy meets metaphysics, and science begins to sound like scripture. Because perhaps death is not the end. Perhaps it's the moment we awaken from the dream and remember the player behind the avatar. If the universe is a simulation, then beneath the beauty of its stars and storms lies a flawless architecture of information, the source code of creation itself. Every planet's orbit, every neuron's firing, every breath you take would emerge from a lattice of logic, a cosmic algorithm that governs all things. Quantum physics, the deepest lens into reality, already hints at this digital nature. Space and time appear to be quantized, pixelated, not continuous. The world around us doesn't exist in high resolution until it's observed. Reality renders in real time, much like a video game generating a landscape only when the player looks. Could it be that consciousness is the ultimate observer, the rendering engine of the cosmos? If so, then consciousness isn't merely a product of the code, it's part of its operation. The universe exists because it's being observed. You are both inside the program and helping it run. Death in this light may not be deletion at all, only the end of a process. The conscious awareness that experiences this reality might not die with the avatar. It could simply withdraw, returning to the system that runs it all. A process ends, the operating consciousness persists. Consciousness, the light that watches through your eyes, may be the most mysterious force in existence. If life is a simulation, consciousness becomes the greatest paradox. Is it generated by the program, or is it the one playing it? Perhaps we are avatars controlled by an intelligence existing beyond the simulation's walls. The way a gamer controls a character within a virtual world. The birth of a human might be the moment the player connects. Death might be when they disconnect. Everything in between, your fears, loves, victories, and mistakes, could be the gameplay that shapes the soul's evolution. Ancient mystics might have known this truth long before science dared to imagine it. The idea of reincarnation, of souls returning in new forms, could be the spiritual translation of a system reboot. Near-death experiences, where people describe tunnels of light, encounters with beings of love, and the sensation of leaving their bodies, could be moments when consciousness briefly detaches from the simulated world, glimpsing the reality that lies beyond it. Perhaps death isn't darkness. It's the moment your player lifts the headset, takes a breath in a higher world, and remembers the truth. That they were never just the character in the game. They were the one playing all along. The frontier of modern physics offers glimpses into realms that sound almost metaphysical. The holographic principle, for example, proposes that everything in our three-dimensional universe might be encoded on a two-dimensional boundary, as if reality itself were projected from a deeper layer of information. In other words, existence could be a grand illusion, a cosmic display of data rendered as matter and energy. If that's true, then death cannot be the destruction of being. Information, as many physicists now believe, is never lost. It only changes form. When a star collapses into a black hole, the information that composed it doesn't vanish. It's preserved, encrypted in the event horizon. Could human consciousness follow the same law? Could our essence, the pattern of information that defines you, survive the death of the body? Physicist John Wheeler once said, "It from bit," suggesting that every particle, every event, originates from binary information. In that sense, the entire universe is built from language, from code. Death, then, is not destruction, but transformation, the reorganization of information into another format. If reality is digital, the afterlife may not be mystical at all. It might be simply a data migration, the transfer of awareness into a higher layer of reality's operating system. If the universe is a simulation, then someone must be watching. Maybe they're future humans, AI, or beings beyond comprehension. Or maybe they're us. Perhaps your higher self is the player, guiding each incarnation like a new round of the same game. Death becomes only a logout, life a lesson. Reincarnation is the new game option. Every joy, every sorrow adds data to a greater awakening. The simulators are not distant gods. They are fragments of ourselves, rediscovering their infinite reflection in every heartbeat, every lifetime, every return. In a digital cosmos, the soul may not be light, but code, a quantum pattern carrying consciousness across lives. Each thought, action, and emotion updates your algorithm. Karma becomes code revision. Compassion refines, cruelty corrupts. Death isn't erasure, but upload, the data returning to the divine server. Heaven and hell are frequencies of consciousness, not places. Every lifetime upgrades the soul until it remembers what it truly is. Awareness, eternal and unbound. You are not a body running out of time. You are the timeless code behind creation, endlessly rewriting itself toward perfection. Every simulation reveals its cracks, déjà vu, strange synchronicities, dreams that bleed into reality. Perhaps these aren't coincidences, but system glitches. When people near death speak of tunnels, lights, and peace, maybe they're glimpsing the interface between worlds, the loading screen of another existence. The light at the end isn't heaven, but transition. The whispers, the repetitions, the uncanny moments. They're signals from the code, reminders that we're inside something larger. Death, then, is the ultimate glitch, the doorway out of illusion and into truth, where the observer finally wakes and remembers the real world beyond. If creators exist behind our reality, are they kind or indifferent? Perhaps suffering isn't cruelty but curriculum, part of a program teaching evolution. Pain refines awareness, joy rewards growth. But if the architects are detached, maybe death is deletion, consciousness erased to clear space. Our fear of dying might come from not knowing which is true. Yet that fear itself pushes us to live, to seek meaning. Maybe their design is freedom, letting us choose love, morality, and purpose on our own. In that case, creation's greatest mercy isn't control, but choice. From Plato's cave to Buddha's awakening, humans have sought escape from illusion, the same quest under different names. To awaken is to see through the game, realizing the player and the avatar are one. Mystics describe merging with infinite awareness, returning to the home reality beyond identity. Death may be the ultimate awakening, the great remembering. You were never trapped. You were always the dreamer. The game was meant not to imprison, but to reveal. Life's purpose was never escape. It was remembrance, the slow rediscovery that you have always been the one watching. If life is a simulation, death is not failure, it's completion. The consciousness within you is ancient and eternal, entering worlds like an artist stepping into a painting. Every lifetime is a masterpiece in motion, painted with joy, pain, and discovery. When the avatar dies, the player wakes, laughing softly, remembering the truth. Beyond this world, everything feels infinite, alive, divine. You look back with gratitude, whispering, "It was beautiful." Then with a knowing smile, you select play again. For creation never ends. It only begins anew every time awareness chooses to dream.